Alright, let's talk about dirty bulking and why you shouldn't do it. But first, if you guys have been enjoying the videos, make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications, share the video, anything you can to help me out. And if you're not interested in the topic of this video, I don't know why you would be watching, but if you're still here at this point, just turn the volume down to 1 and help me out. Watch the video all the way through so that the algorithm can be boosted. But yeah. Nobody specifically asked this topic. However, if I'm going to keep producing content, I need topics that people might not always want, and sometimes people can't think of the things that they actually want to hear. And I feel like it's important to get this out there to help a lot of beginners. Luckily, I never had to face this problem, so I can't come from experience, but I've seen plenty to know that it is not a good idea and that my solution is a better solution, and I think that is non-debatable to really anybody. I don't think anybody would disagree with me here that knows it. So I have 5 reasons why dirty bulking is not a good idea and why you shouldn't do it. I'll run through them and then I'll kind of talk about why my solution is the complete opposite to these things and will leave the complete opposite effect. So number 1, and these are in no specific order, is you're gonna feel sluggish. If you're dirty bulking, chances are, like the TikTok, I'm going off of like what I see. The TikToks I always see, the Oreos and the ice cream and the whole milk, and you're gonna feel sluggish if you're putting this stuff in your body. Now don't get me wrong, if you're lean bulking and you're incorporating these things in your bulk, that's 100% okay. But if you're dirty bulking and you're thinking get down as much food as you possibly physically can, each and every single day, you're going to feel sluggish and you're going to feel like crap because these things are not good for your body. Just like the whole guy who lost weight eating McDonald's because he was in a calorie deficit. 100%, that is perfectly okay. But I bet that there was days where he felt pretty sluggish, especially at the start. You might get used to it after a while, but as I was telling somebody earlier, you eat this fast food, you get used to it, and it's fine, whatever, and it's really not making you sluggish anymore. But then once you transfer to the more whole, good, clean foods, you're like, whoa, I see the difference. It's going to leave you sluggish, poor workouts, poor sleep if you're eating things like that, these dirty foods. And like I said, everything in moderation. None of these foods are dirty. They're only dirty if they are the only things you're consuming. Remember that. Number 2 is gaining unnecessary fat. So if you're dirty bulking and you're not in a 250 to 500 calorie surplus, which I recommend, which is a lean bulk, along with a couple other factors, you're going to gain unnecessary fat. Who wants to gain unnecessary fat? There's a couple people that don't care. They just want to look big. They don't care about the abs. They don't care about the fatty look on their arms. But I know I don't want to gain unnecessary fat. I want to stay as lean as possible while bulking so that when I cut, I can look even more lean and people are like, I didn't even realize you were bulking. You know what I mean? So if you're putting all these foods in your body, especially these dirty foods, with all those extra calories and all those extra macros, you're going to gain unnecessary fat. And like I said a few seconds ago, I guess it's all an opinionated thing. But personally, I think I speak for a lot of people when I say I don't want to gain unnecessary fat. And I know that there's a lot of people that DM me on Instagram each day or comment on my TikToks saying, Joe, I want to lean bulk, but I don't want to gain extra fat. And I always say to them, well, username, lean bulk, don't dirty bulk, at least a gram of protein per pound of body weight. Make sure you hit the gym, get your sleep, and you'll be good to go. You're not going to gain unnecessary fat. The people that are putting in like Breyer's ice cream and Oreos and Hershey syrup into a blender with whole milk and drinking it at 12 a.m. to up their calories so that they can get bigger faster. Unnecessary fat. Once again, for the final time, it's all an opinionated thing, but it's not for me. And then number 3 is going to be longer cut time. The heavier you get during your bulk, the more time it's going to take you to cut. And I guess these are all opinionated things. Really, there's nothing that's not an opinion in this world, besides the straight up facts. But, yeah, so if you're dirty bulking and you're consuming all these extra calories more than you need to, and you are at the point where you've gained that unnecessary fat, so this is kind of the next step, now it's going to take you longer to cut and get to what I would assume is your ideal body. But then again, I wouldn't assume that if you went through this dirty bulk to begin with. So think about things long term. Always be in the moment, but when you know that it's the right time to think about things long term, think about things long term. It's going to take you way longer to have this cut. It's going to take a lot more effort, not just time, but effort, because you're going to have to reduce your calories a bunch down to get below maintenance. If your maintenance level wasn't raised throughout this bulk, but chances are it wasn't if you're dirty bulking, because you're not putting on that much muscle, which I'll get into. And what was I going to say? If you're so used to this amount of food and then you're having to cut down below your maintenance level because you need to go into your cut now, you might be hungry, it might keep you up at night, it might lead to poor workouts, it could lead to a whole bunch of things. So longer cut time and more effort, probably more sacrifice, lots of more, and nothing good more. Number 4 is going to be look worse in the process. And I guess, once again, this is an opinionated thing, but if you're dirty bulking and you're looking all chubby and you're looking like a marshmallow, I don't think anybody's gonna like that. And I'm not saying that people should have to like that, because of course everybody works out for themselves in the end. But you know, if you're working out, you want to look good. You don't want to look like the Pillsbury mascot. So you're not gonna look good in the process. To where if you're lean bulking, you can look maybe bigger, a little more body fat, but a lot better than you would have if you just started dirty bulking. And number 5 is going to be minimal muscle gain, which I said we would get into, and now we're getting into it. This isn't 100%, this is kind of like a 50-50 shot, but if you're dirty bulking and you're not paying attention to macros, you're just trying to get whatever food in you can, you might not be hitting your protein goals, or you might be mixing the wrong things with the wrong things, and that's going to lead to minimal muscle gain, which is really the opposite of what you want when bulking. There's a couple of things that go into it, but you're going into a bulk trying to gain muscle in the process and end up with it in the end once you start your cut, which obviously there's a whole process of the whole cutting phase to keep that muscle. But point being is, if you're just randomly throwing things in your body and not knowing what you're throwing in your body, there might be a chance that you're wasting all your time, because in the end, protein is vital for muscle growth, and vital for bulking, and you need to know what you're putting in your body. And if you're throwing Breyers ice cream into a blender at 12 a.m., chances are you're not looking at protein too much. So real quickly, those were my 5 points, but now I'm going to run through why lean bulking can help those things super quickly. 1, sluggish, 250 to 500 calorie surplus with clean foods. You know what clean foods are. Come on. Whole foods, clean foods, natural foods. For the most part, of course, everything in moderation, but chances are you're not going to feel sluggish. Just straight to it, straight to the point, like I said. Number 2, gain unnecessary fat. You're not going to gain unnecessary fat. If you're lean bulking, 250 to 500 calorie surplus per day, then you should only be gaining a half a pound to a pound per week. And lots of that is going to be muscle, especially if you're new into lifting and you have the newbie gains. If you're younger, you have the puberty, the extra testosterone, all of it. So of course, if you're bulking, you're going to gain fat regardless. There's no way you're not going to. But I promise you, I am proof of it. You guys know me from TikTok. If you don't, go follow me on there. Minimal fat gain. And the fat that is gained blends in with the muscle that's gained, especially when you're new to your process and those other 2 things that I just mentioned. So number 3 is going to be a longer cut time, but now we're talking about shorter cut time. If you're lean bulking, you're going to have a shorter cut time. You're going to have to put in less time and less effort. Number 4 is look worse in the process, but now you're going to look better in the process, because I've been bulking for over 170 days now, and I only look better. Like, of course, I look a little heftier. Heftier kind of sounds good. Chunkier, but I look, in my opinion, 15 billion times better than I did when I first started. To where if I was dirty bulking, I'm just going to look like the Pillsbury mascot, like I said, and it's probably not going to be the best thing. And number 5, minimal muscle gain, but now we're talking about maximal muscle gain. You're counting your macros. You're not just throwing random things into your body. You're putting the right things with the right things, because that is a true thing. And you know what protein you're getting into your body, and that is going to allow you to gain the maximum amount of muscle you can. So these were 5 reasons that you probably shouldn't dirty bulk, and the contradictory of the lean bulking side of things. So if you guys enjoyed it, this was helpful, make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications, share the video. Hopefully you watched it all the way through. Go follow me on TikTok. There's a couple good links in the description for different things, so go check it out. Rise, use my code, it's all there. Some free money if you're into crypto and stocks. But that's not really what this is about. That's just helping me out. So if you're interested in that, go check it out. If you're not, you're just here for the video, just watch the video. Perfectly fine. So I appreciate you guys so much. I will see you soon, but of course I see you guys every day on TikTok for the most part.